Hello again, and welcome to Movie Show Plus. I am Tom Santilli, one of the two resident film critics of Movie Show Plus. The other, Greg Russell, will be along in a little bit. He has some new interviews from some of the new films that are out in theaters. Coming up on the show, we're going to be talking a lot about Top Gun Maverick. That's the big movie right now. Also, a little bit of Jurassic World Dominion. It comes out in June. And we're going to be previewing some of the new films that are coming out, some of the new trailers. But we're going to start with Top Gun, but then we're also on the episode today. I actually got to talk recently with Danica Patrick. She is, race car champion. She's partnered with a company called Good Foods and is bringing some healthy kind of snack and dip ideas and stuff like that. But we also talk movies. So my interview with Danica Patrick is in this show as well. So please stick around, enjoy today's show, and I'll see you at the tail end.
We are cleared into the area. Verify cameras are on. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here comes some G's.
There's 5 G's.
6 G's.
7 G's.
All right, that was awesome.
I wasn't ready to make a sequel until we had a special story worthy of a sequel, and until technology evolved so we could delve deeper into the experience of a fighter pilot.
The first movie became something that changed a generation. So this is exciting to come back and get in those jets again.
We worked with the Navy and the Top Gun school to formulate how to shoot it practically. Because if we're going to do it, we're going to fly in the F-18s.
The aviation sequences had to be real. So our actors went through 3 months of grueling training.
The Navy says if you eject, you have to be able to survive in the water. So we had to go through that challenging underwater program.
It's intense. You're flipped inverted and you're having to try and get out.
From there, Tom designed this all-encompassing aviation training for all the actors.
I started them out in a single-engine airplane to build up their spatial awareness inside the aircraft.
Oh, wow. That's amazing!
Oh my God!
Next, we took them to the L-39, and they went and flew aerobatics to feel what it's like in a jet.
It's the speed. Wow.
From there, they'd graduate to the F-18 Super Hornet and actually launching off an aircraft carrier.
That's what I'm talking about.
The actors also had to learn how to run the cameras because when they're up in the jet, they have to direct themselves, essentially.
Okay, I'm rolling.
I had to really teach them cinematography and the lighting so that they understood what's gonna look good on camera.
Gun angle's great.
Everybody thought it would be impossible for actors to really be in the jets.
But that's the gift that Tom gave us, that by the time we got up there, we could handle it.
Definitely the most amazing thing I've ever done. All the training, 100% prepared us.
I'm very proud of what we all accomplished. Each one of them are extraordinary.
It still blows my mind that we've done this. There's nothing like it.
So I'm joined today. This is really cool for me to get a chance to speak with race car champion Danica Patrick. Thank you so much for chatting with me. This weekend is Indy 500, Memorial Day weekend coming up. I wanted to talk to you for a number of reasons, but one is, the Memorial Day weekend usually marks the beginning of the busy summer hustle bustle, and you are one of the busiest people that I've read about, that I know. So tell people, first of all, what have you been up to this summer, and how do you manage it all?
Well, I have a good team. And then I do take a fair amount of vacation. So part of my busy since I retired in 2018 is elective.
Okay.
But I am more busy than ever, I'd say, otherwise. And, I mean, we had that little hiccup for a couple of years where like life was a little different,
Yep, a little bit.
maybe you noticed. And so now with everything being much more normal, and being in attendance for everything like races and speaking engagements and doing appearances, like life is much more normal, I would say,
Sure,
which means
sure.
busy. This weekend being the Indy 500 is one of 7 races that I'm doing the broadcast for. So
Sweet.
that's one of those things that keeps me busy.
So I'm a film critic, and so part of why I wanted to talk to you also is, I'm in when it becomes, hot outside and, people are wanting to get out, and especially like you said, on the tail end of the pandemic, we're all kind of clamoring to get back out and have some normalcy. But I spend a lot of my times inside in front of a screen, where I'm sitting and there's the smell of, candy and popcorn in the air. Do you have any tips? I know that you've partnered recently with Good Foods, and I know that that's a very important part of your lifestyle is healthy eating.
Right.
So do you have any tips that you can share with people, especially like me, who needs to get out in between movie screenings?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, health and wellness is something that I've been paying attention to since I was a teenager, since I could cook for myself, essentially. And it's been something that has only continued to become more and more important, and something also that I try and educate people on, especially just from experience standpoint. I can't tell you exactly what to do, but I can tell you what works for me. And so one of the things that I do very regularly, including like this morning, before, as I was getting ready to do these interviews, is I pack food. Like, I mean, I vividly remember being in attendance and watching the Indy 500 and being part of the broadcast the second year after, or the next year after I was done in 2019. And I was like snacking while the green flag was dropping. And that's not a joke. I really was. And I had a whole cooler full of things. So, Good Foods is just a company that has super, super clean ingredients. I don't promote anything that I don't consume myself and that I don't believe in. So they have plant-based options, super clean ingredients, super fresh, whether it's their guacamole or tzatziki or their buffalo dip. It's such good stuff. And so I just love to help people know what is good out there and what's not, from someone who's like really looking at a lot of things with a critical eye. So what I'd tell you is I'd say you need a little cooler bag and you need to pack some to-go items. And oddly enough, of course, Good Foods has snack size. So, nothing goes to waste. And if, your cooler thaws out by the end of the day, it's all right, because you've already ate everything.
Now, you mentioned it too, you've been retired since 2018, and a lot of the things that you do to keep yourself busy are kind of elective. What kind of things haven't you done yet that you are wanting to do that maybe people can look for?
Oh, I mean, travel is such a foundational thing for me, and learning about the world. And so I enjoy sharing those expeditions. I mean, one that comes to mind that I took last year was a trip to Egypt, and just educating people on, other places in the world, ancient sites and civilizations, and the energy and the information that comes from experiencing being there, and also how great traveling the world is. So I do truly love to share those expeditions with people so that we can all grow. Like, I think that life is about growing, and to grow, you need to try new things and experience new things, hear new things, and be open to the idea that your perspective and your opinion might change.
That's awesome. And actually, I could relate a lot to that, because that's really part of why I love film and always have, is the idea that through movies, you kind of get to experience and feel empathy for people that are not like you, outside of your, your worldview or your own little, personal bubble. I'd be remiss if I had you here and I didn't ask you about, movies. Are you a moviegoer? Do you watch movies? Are you into Marvel movies? What are some of your favorite movies?
I don't go to the movie theater a lot because
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like I go in, it's light, and I come out and it's dark, and I all of a sudden lost a day.
Sure.
Maybe it's loving sunrise and sunset. I don't know. But I do watch a ton of movies. But I will say, actually, you know what? I'm going to flip it on you. So there's
Okay.
there are, I have not watched like the classic series of things. Like I haven't watched Star Wars. I haven't
Oh, wow,
watched
okay.
like the Harry Potters, or what's the other one that's kind of like that people say is really
Lord of the
good?
Rings.
Lord of the Rings. I
Yeah.
haven't seen like any of those kinds of, not trilogies, but whatever the word is for when there's a whole bunch of those movies. So what's a
Yeah.
series I should watch?
Wow. That's a great question. Well, I guess let me preface that by asking you, is there a kind of movie that you like? Is there a genre of movie that you are into, or
I
you
guess,
prefer?
I really love, like I watched 2 movies last night, oddly enough. I sat down on the
Okay.
couch really early and I watched, they weren't the most amazing movies, but one of them was about, it was called Multiverse. And it was
Okay.
about, the reality and what is real and what's not, and the multiverse.
Yeah.
And then the other one was a movie about needing to get off planet. It was
Oh,
about
wow.
having to get off planet to this planet called Titan, because our planet
Okay.
was like in destruction and we only had like 15 years left. And so they like genetically changed human beings into what they ended up calling like Homo Titanians. And
Oh, wow.
so that
Okay.
you could
Yeah.
breathe different air and have different capabilities. So I like kind of like futuristic sci-fi, like,
Yeah.
I like to visually see things change. So I kind of think Lord of the Rings is something I'm supposed to watch.
Yeah. I mean, Lord of the Rings is more fantasy. It sounds like you're like more, it almost sounds like you like movies that are like more sci-fi-esque. I'm
Christopher
thinking of,
Nolan, like Christopher
oh
Nolan,
yeah, like
like
Interstellar.
Interstellar is my favorite
Yeah.
movie of all time.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Have you seen other films by him?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Inception and
didn't
things
think
like that.
Tenet
Yeah.
was so great. Tenet was a little hard to
Yeah.
follow, and I feel pretty like with it with that kind of stuff, but it was hard. So anyway, I think those are some great movies that I like.
That's really cool. That's really cool to know. And it tells a little bit about a person too, I think, when you find out, especially, how about comedies? Are there certain kinds of comedies that you were
Sure.
into? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I do. I love comedies too. Those are pretty great. I mean, the Will Ferrell era of things is pretty spectacular.
Did you see Talladega Nights?
Of
And I
course.
imagine.
Of
What did you think
course.
of that as a race car driver? I mean, was
There's some
that
true storylines in there.
okay? Very cool. No, Danica, this is super cool again for me to be able to chat with you. What people that are watching this that that follow you, you're one of the bigger figures that have ever come out of racing, that kind of have transcended the sport. Most people know who you are, regardless if they watch racing or not. What are some ways though that people can find out about what you're doing?
Yeah.
Where they can go to find out
Right.
more about the good foods that
Yeah,
you
I
were
mean,
like, yeah.
First off, goodfoods.com or at your grocery store. Easy to find. So pick that stuff up. It's perfect time. Summer, it's dipping time. But if you want to know about me, I mean, honestly, probably the easiest way to kind of know more about me and follow is to follow my podcast.
Cool.
I have an interview that comes out every week. Last week was a physicist, and actually, ironically enough, another physicist this week. So she's actually a biological physicist. So I like really learning and expanding.
Yeah.
So, but then I also have great interviews with someone like Matthew McConaughey or Neil deGrasse Tyson or Caitlin Bristow or you name it, Jenny McCarthy. Like they're all over the place. So I think that's a way to follow what I'm doing and what I'm interested in, and maybe open up your mind a little.
Is there a through line as to who you want on your podcast? Like what kinds of people, or like you said, just it could be any topic, just people you find interesting?
I mean, yes, it's people I find interesting, but I also just love, I love to talk to people about health, like anything for wellness. And the thing is, it's like wellness comes in so many ways. Sometimes I'm talking to someone like Stephen Gundry or Mark Hyman or David Asprey or Ben Greenfield. And sometimes I'm talking to someone about expanding my mind and talking to a physicist or talking to a psychologist to learn about personalities and how the world works. So it's all rooted in really like growing, expanding, and continued wellness.
That's fascinating. Again, Danica, I know you're a busy person, so good luck with everything you have going on this weekend with the Indy 500, and best of luck to you moving forward with the podcast and everything else that you do.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right. Take it easy.
Danica Patrick.
Is that guac?
Yeah.
Good foods guac?
Yeah.
Super fresh, straight from the fridge?
Yes, straight from the fridge.
Good guac guy. Good foods, dips, and guac.
Hey, Greg Russell here from Movie Show Plus, enjoying being here at the Foundation Hotel this week. We've been taking the show on the road quite a bit. Now, if you've got a business that you would like us to showcase, just let us know. Get in touch with us via our website right here, movieshowplus.com, and we'll get back with you. And hey, who knows? You might be the next movie star right here on Movie Show Plus.
Yeah, the big movie in theaters right now is Top Gun Maverick. It once again stars Tom Cruise in the title role. And this is, of course, the follow-up to the 1986 blockbuster Top Gun. I was absolutely floored by how well they made the sequel, just everything about it. This is the way that they're supposed to do it. You know, we get a lot of movies that are nostalgic, that kind of try to reboot or rehash something that worked in the past, but rarely does it kind of mesh in the way that Top Gun Maverick does. It takes all of the elements that made the first film great, and it continues the story. It's not just a pointless story. There's some more character going on here. There's a lot more stakes. There's, you know, things develop naturally, and it's just exhilarating. It's one of the most thrilling movies. Now, you know, I watch a lot of movies. I'm a film critic, and it is rare that I felt like a kid. I felt like a kid watching Top Gun Maverick. I loved this movie. I think audiences will love it, and I hope that people check this movie out. It's definitely, for me, one of the best movies of the year. Tom Cruise, just the epitome of what it means to be a superstar, and wow, does he carry this film. Just go see it. That's all I got to say about it. Also want to point you in the direction of Jurassic World Dominion. Not that my opinion will matter much at all, but this film comes out on June the 10th, and it mixes the original cast of the original Jurassic Park film with the new cast of the films that have been coming out recently. This is supposedly the final chapter, and you can find my full review of Jurassic Park Dominion on the website, movieshowplus.com. For more detailed reviews of these and other movies, please check me out on Rotten Tomatoes. You can go to the site, search the critics list to find Tom Santilli, and you can scroll through all of my recent and not so recent reviews. Another good way to find my stuff is to follow me on Twitter at Tom Santilli, or go to the website movieshowplus.com.
Your days of fighting for the so-called greater good are over. This is our chance to control the truth, the concepts of right and wrong for everyone for centuries to come. You're fighting to save an ideal that doesn't exist. Never did. You need to pick a side.
It's just got to be amazing. I'll just start with you, Phyllis, that how many people, I mean, just love this whole series, movie, family, group. When I told some friends, hey, I'm going to be doing Downton Abbey, and they're going, whoa, did you see it? I said, yeah. I said, did you like it? I said, yeah. And they're going, I'm so jealous. And I'm going, like I told the other group, it comes out next week. So you're going to be okay. But what does that mean for you, just knowing about, just this massive crowd or group of people that just love this?
It's incredible. And I hope people do go and see it, because it's really, it makes you come out with your heart a wee bit lighter, having seen it, I would say.
Yeah.
So you've got to vote with your feet, folks. Go and see us in the cinema. It is wonderful.
I've seen it twice, and obviously I know what happens. So both times I just left feeling, like you say, your heart feels full at the end of it, doesn't it? It's really lovely. So I really hope people enjoy it as much as we did.
This has to be like the greatest family reunion now when you guys get together to do a project. I mean, you've been with each other, for quite a while.
My husband was always hanging around as a sort of mascot, because he would come and pick me up at the end of the day, and he loved all the actors and loved hearing the stories, and just even loved it more than me. And now I show up on the first day, and there he is, with a giant crew around him, and he's running it because he's the director. I mean, that on top of everything else is just a sort of dream come true.
Elizabeth, had he not told you he was directing it?
And I hasten to say, it was nothing to do with me. I mean, it was like, I was like, what?
I know that's got to be the surprise. It's like you show up for work and it's like, I just left you.
I know.
Well, what's going on?
You don't do anything, do you? I mean, I never even saw him do anything except watch TV until he directed the show.
People ask me all the time, what is secret cinema? It started in 2012 and has grown. It's a program that occurs every month, at least twice a month. It's a classic film series, but the twist is you won't know what the movie is until the lights go down. We have a host who gives hints about the film prior to it starting and then tells you more about it and conducts a Q&A after the film. The host is someone who is passionate about film and/or might work in the industry. It's a great way to see a film you've never seen before, or to see one again with an audience and find out interesting tidbits you may not know. A ticket is only $6 and includes a popcorn if you buy something to drink. So there's different variations of secret cinema. There's Old Hollywood, which we designate as 1967 or earlier. And then there's New Hollywood, which is 1968 to the present. Old Hollywood is the first Thursday of the month, and New Hollywood is the third Thursday of the month. And when a fifth Thursday occurs, because our people who like to come to secret cinema are missing it, we have another one. It's called The Long Ones. And we choose a film that's over 2.5 hours long, because normally we won't show a film that long because of the Q&A. On the Long Ones night, we do not have a host.
We're introduced about 3 years ago by friends that attend Secret Cinema. We did not know about it, which I apologize for. We've been coming ever since, almost every one. I think we've been to about 100 of them. We are never, ever, ever bothered by the fact that we don't know the title or that we didn't guess by the clue. It's just a wonderful, fun, we don't, New Hollywood, Old Hollywood, and then the presenters and the discussion afterwards, which ranges from technical to theatrical to the business and to political. So just a fun all around, and the price can't be beat.
How often do you come to Secret Cinema?
Every month.
Really?
I do, yes.
Why do you come here every month?
I just love seeing all the great films on the big screen, meeting up with new friends, and seeing new films. It just excites me a lot. 1, 2, 3 with James Cagney. Never heard of it. Saw it for the first time, and I laughed my butt off.
For me, I don't care about the clues about the movie, because I always say it's like opening a Christmas present. Like, you just don't know what it is.
We've been coming for the last couple years, and it's gotten so much more popular. It used to be maybe 20, 25 people. Now it's up to sometimes 200. We're married, but our husbands are not that interested in movies, and
so they just let us.
Movie buddies.
Girls' night out.
It's a girls' night out. But seeing it on the big screen, and also having all that information and the clues, and then afterwards all the backstories.
I love the discussion afterwards. It really
that makes it. You see people walking out like, no, that's the best part.
For more information or to buy tickets to Secret Cinema, please visit themapletheater.com.
That's going to do it for another episode of Movie Show Plus. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support. Just so you know, too, we have an e-newsletter that you can join for free on our website. If you just go to our website, click on the e-newsletter button, sign up. It's free. You can cancel at any time. But we've been getting a lot lately, advanced movie screening tickets and things like that we pass along to our VIP list. And you can just kind of stay in tune with what me and Greg are up to as we head through this summer, the first summer in a few years, where hopefully the movie theaters are bustling. On that note, I don't know if you know this, but we have a calendar feature on our website as well. It's just been updated. So if you are trying to figure out when we're going to have new episodes of Movie Show Plus, when there will be a rerun, or just what me and Greg are doing with our television appearances or radio appearances, you can check out the calendar for all of that. Last but not least, I always like to pitch our Patreon program. The reason we're able to even make any episodes at all are because of our Patreon supporters. We thank all of you that have taken your own money and have donated to our show to keep us on the air and to support movies in Michigan. You can go to patreon.com/Movie Show Plus. And from there, for as little as $3 a month, you can help support this show. And, we'll keep bringing it to you. So with that, we will see you next time on Movie Show Plus. I hope to see you all out at the theaters soon. And until then, take it easy and have a lovely summer.
Check out movieshowplus.com to watch this episode online and for exclusive content, extended interviews with Greg Russell, and a complete archive of movie reviews with Tom Santilli. Also, make sure to like and follow us on social media and on our Movie Show Plus YouTube channel.